I don't know why people want the government involved in our lives like this. My name is Jenin Younes, and I'm litigation counsel at the New Civil Liberties Alliance. Lockdowns are a terrible idea. They do not work to quell the spread of a respiratory virus. If anything, they only shift the burden from the upper class to the poor and working class, and they violate all sorts of civil rights, and they should never be implemented in any situation except the most dire pandemic for a very short amount of time. I think it's a massive civil liberties violation to tell people that they can't earn a living. They don't have a right to earn a living. They don't have a right to leave their houses. They don't have a right to send their children to school. Those are just fundamental. I think, one of the core principles that I see in classical liberalism and sort of Enlightenment principles is that people have a right to pursue their own happiness and fulfillment. And what we're seeing now is we're not, at the beginning, this was 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Okay, 2 weeks, fine. I suppose I can live with that. But we're talking now about people really being asked to give up years of their life, which that can lead to a lifetime of depression or your life not going the way that you want. College students, for instance. I mean, I think what's happening to college students is just horrific. At the beginning of the lockdown and continuing for quite some time, all of these quarantining requirements, they're not allowed to socialize the same way. Those are quintessential aspects of, coming of age and growing up. And now what's happening to a lot of the college students who aren't vaccinated or even who are and have to keep, undergoing testing and quarantining, they're not getting anything close to a normal college experience. It's horrifying. And it seems to me that older people are sacrificing youth, really. About half the time I fear that we are heading towards a real authoritarian or totalitarian state. A significant portion of people in this country don't appear to understand what liberty is about. They don't appear to understand what freedom of speech is about, free exchange of ideas. The censorship that's going on around the topic and other topics as well is extremely troubling. I'm sure everyone knows that Naomi Wolf and Alex Berenson, some of the voices on Twitter who countered the narrative, and I don't always agree with everything that they say, their accounts were suspended, and that's a big deal. I mean, I think Naomi Wolf had hundreds of thousands of followers. Alex Berenson might have 500,000 or more. You're depriving people of these platforms, and we don't really have a comprehensive or a legal framework for dealing with this, because it's true, the First Amendment doesn't apply to private companies, but on the other hand, obviously the founding fathers in the 1700s couldn't have foreseen Twitter and Facebook, and these tech companies are controlling the public discourse. And so when they're censoring people like this, it's really scary. I mean, my tweets get censored for misleading information. Often it's an opinion. I had one tweet that said something like, "I'm probably healthier than most vaccinated people," or something. It's okay, I run 5 miles a day. I probably am. That got slapped with "this tweet is misleading," and you can't like it or retweet it. And I have 2 friends whose names I can't say, but they're very influential voices in this, and people are trying to get them fired. They might get fired. So people are really afraid to speak out, and I think it's really scary that a large portion of this country is on board with that, thinks it's fine, is actually pushing for this, and doesn't see why we have a free society with free exchange of ideas. Something has been lost in education over the last couple decades. I don't know what it is.